Young boys are crazy about judo here. I think after football, judo is
yeah, everywhere you go actually. At the airport, you know, we've got a great reception at the airport. Karimov in white.
He's got nice movement, and the difference here from 4 or 5 years ago is the posture. You know, they used to be always bent over, and it's the first time that they've gone over, just as they get to grips with each other.
Well, certainly in the lighter weights, it was prominent, wasn't it? I mean, it bent almost double. It really was starting to turn a little bit like a wrestling match, which is why, of course, there's no direct attack to the legs.
I like the highlights reels that you see now, where there aren't these. Of course, they were spectacular. The techniques that led up to Beijing, and some of the techniques in Beijing were spectacular. But the highlights reels now are as spectacular.
Yeah.
I don't think we've necessarily lost so much. And what we've lost on one part, we must have gained somewhere else. There's so many nice techniques.
At first, you know, of course, some of the people that were doing the leg grabs, and you know, one of the biggest was Iliadis, you know, and it was one of his favourite techniques, and you know, so he just said, well, I'll stand up and I'll throw him with the Ponce Nagi instead, or Surigoshi.
Lipatiliani,
yeah.
Telma Montero,
yeah.
Same thing. You know, Telma was also known for, you know, leg grabbing, and she's up there as one of the favourites.
One of the favourites for the Olympic Games. So they do adapt. I remember I was talking to Paisha about it, and he said all the top judokas will adapt.
Yeah,
it's what they do.
He's had a tough time of it, Ludwig Paisha, the silver medalist in Beijing, and then I suppose the ability to hold that kind of intensity. If you can't, can you? I mean, you know, you must taper off. That was neat.
Nice drop, Nagi there. Wazari scored. Karimov right the way underneath there.
Just taking his time. You know, you just sense that he's got a package there, and all of a sudden, you know, he's going to unload.
Well, he threatened with it a couple of times, dropped on his knees, and just needed to pop the hips a little bit further across. Smigesh. Wow, Mate was called there. I thought that started in.
Yeah, so did I. I thought it was a neat little bit of work. And Uzun didn't give up. There was also a change of direction then. He still managed to get off an attack.
It's still a little bit foggy, isn't it? This edge of play, you know, mat area. I think that sometimes, you know, you can start well within and it goes out. That's a nice Yoko Satemi. It's got to be a score. Yuko scored.
Takahashi in the corner.
Changed.
It gives it Wazara. Still like it for Yuko. But again, I've got to get me one of those badges.
I know. So Wazari, how was that to your pont?
Took his time. Yeah. The referee took his time, thought about it, had a look. He eventually gave Yuko, but his corner judges thought that it was worth Wazari.
I'm just saying about the edge play. Sometimes you can start well within, and sometimes they count it as a you know, as a score when it goes outside, and sometimes they don't.